So you are now a certified Italian wine ambassador through Veneto International Academy. What made you want to take on Italian wine at this level?
Well, I heard about it from Cynthia when she interviewed me for
Cynthia Chaplin.
Yes, Cynthia Chaplin for Italian Wine Podcast. And she said, I think you'd be really well suited for this. And I said, I don't even know anything about it. And she said, Stephanie Johnson is an Italian wine expert. And I was like, oh, well, I know her, so let me text her. And SJ then said, oh my gosh, you'd be great for that. And so I looked into it and I thought, wow, I think I'd really want to do this because I've sat for the Master Sommelier exam. I've been thinking about the MW, but I don't think I want to study the entire world again. I've been doing that for a really long time. And at Ubuco, I've jumped off the cliff and I've taken the deep dive into Italy, and I found that I really enjoy it. So I thought, let's give it a try. And when I got Italian Wine Unplugged 2.0, I thought, oh my gosh, this is my people. I learn about geology and soil types and climate and the different biotypes and the families and the groups. It was a rabbit hole I didn't want to climb out of.
Number 2, Italian wine is famously complex. What was the most humbling part of the VIA experience?
I think the most humbling part of the VIA experience, oh my gosh, I think as wine professionals, you get to a point where you feel comfortable with your knowledge.
You think you know everything.
It's not so much that you think you know everything, but you feel comfortable in what you know, and there's a lot of stuff that you don't know.
Right.
But then when you are presented and you think, oh, I taste pretty well and I know how to identify wines. I think once I realized that Italian white wines generally all kind of taste the same. All of them are medium plus body. They all have medium plus to high acidity, except for a few. A lot of them have salinity. A lot of them have notes of acacia, jasmine, apple blossom, cut green apple, and peach flavors. You start going, how am I going to tell the difference between a Fiano and a Verdicchio? And there are some that stick out, I think. Greco, I think, sticks out. Catarato, I think, sticks out. Vermentino from Sardinia can stick out. But other than that, it's anyone. It's up for grabs. And once I realized that, I was like, Jesus Christ, I don't know shit. I don't know shit from Shinola.
Okay, was there a region, grape, or style that surprised you during the course?
You know what actually surprised me was Valpolicella.
Oh, really?
Yes, I historically have really disliked Valpolicella because there is something in there that I don't love, and I've never been able to really dig it out.
Yeah.
And I think that generally there has never been a better time for Italian wine. I think so many producers are paying attention to their work in the vineyards. They are paying attention to honoring the grape variety and what it should taste like, not what Robert Parker thinks it should taste like. And I realized that there are really delicious examples of Valpolicella out there that are worth the look and the time.
That sounds so paradoxical, right? Because it's one of the most popular wines.
I know. And people would say, oh, I love Valpolicella. And in my subjective sommelier mind,
because you're a snob.
I am a snob.
Yeah,
a little bit of a snob. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think people in the US still misunderstand about Italian wine?
What do I think people in the US don't understand about Italian wine?
Yeah, misunderstand.
I think that they, oh gosh, this is a tough question because I think that what Americans don't understand is that in order for this living product to cross an ocean, that sometimes the wine will taste different in the winery because maybe they won't give it a dose or two of sulfur, when it's local, but in order for it to travel across an ocean, the producer might have to just
Adjust
it a little bit just to keep it safe. And then when it arrives here, Americans go, it doesn't taste the same way that it did in the winery.
Right.
Well, yeah, when you're drinking in the winery, it's 0-0. And then when it comes to the US, it had a transatlantic journey.
Voyage, yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Interesting. I never thought about that. Okay, so Italian wine often asks us to think beyond grape variety and into place, food, history, and identity.
Yeah.
How do you explain that to guests without making it sound like Hallmark?
In order to welcome the guest into that, I always say, let's take a quick trip to Italy. And then that, of course, opens their mind. Because who would say, no, thanks, I don't want to take a quick trip to Italy. Everyone wants to take a quick trip to Italy. So when you open with that, it unlocks something in them. And if you know, as the salesperson or the sommelier, if you know the history of the place, even if it's just a little bit, oh, the Kingdom of Savoy included Piemonte and Val d'Aosta, and fondue is there, and it's wonderful with cremetta. Have you ever heard of the grape variety? You have to story tell, I think, in order to welcome them in and to eventually sell the wine.
Okay, so after becoming an Italian wine ambassador, has the way you speak about Italian wine changed in any way?
It has. I include more history so that...
Conoscenza.
Yes, the history and the soil types to help, and not say, oh, terrigenous flesh, but say, talk about clay and how it's a cooler soil. So you might get a bit more firmness or structure from a clay soil. And I say, think about when you played with clay as a kid, it was cold, right? And that's what it does to the vine's feet. And when the vine's feet are cold, it kind of girds itself. And to paint a picture that illustrates what the vine is going through, because vines are really just like us.
Okay.
They really are.
So what is one Italian grape you wish more people ordered without hesitation?
Verdicchio. I love Verdicchio. And I didn't fully understand it until I went to Le Marche 2 years ago. And I had no idea it was so age-worthy. I had no idea that, I didn't really understand the differences between higher elevation and then lower elevation, and is it closer to the water, and how the breaks in the hills, does the hot air come straight at it, like where San Lorenzo is, and how it's different from where Andrea Felici is, and really eating the food with the wine and seeing the differences in altitudes and seeing the soil types in Matelica versus Jesi, and it was mind-blowing. And people who love crisp white wines and who love Chablis, they should be collecting Verdicchio and drinking a lot of it.
So what is one Italian wine region that deserves a bigger spotlight in New York restaurants right now? I mean, it's kind of similar to number 7.
That is a very interesting question. I love wines from Umbria, and we have a strong representation of Umbria on our list.
Il Buco.
Grazie, Roberto Paris. Pero it's a wine region that a lot of people don't know. They also don't think of it as a white wine region, but Trebbiano Spoletino, oh my God, the acidity, the texture, the energy.
I mean, it's definitely lesser known, right?
It is definitely lesser known, and Sagrantino and Montefalco, delicious. And a lot of people don't even realize that Sangiovese is grown in Umbria. So they say Reggiano. And you get to talk about how it's a bit more of a wild child expression of Sangiovese versus, vis-a-vis Tuscany. And I would push Umbria more.
Well, you're a bit biased there.
A little bit biased,
okay.
But that's okay.
Okay. If someone says, I like Pinot Noir, what Italian wine would you put in their glass?
I put Petit Rouge in their glass. I take them to Danilo Thomas.
Oh, really?
Yep, I sure do. And it blows their mind.
Okay. What is the Italian wine hill you are willing to die on? Don't say Umbria.
I won't say Umbria. Actually, I am willing to die on the hill of Chianti Classico.
Oh, really?
Yep. and I think it's La Mole. Or
La Mole di La Mole.
You know, I went on the Consorzio, the Chianti Classico Consorzio trip last July, and you know about the different UGAs, and again, it's so different when you go.
Yeah.
And when you see the elevation, and then you taste the wines from Rada and Gaiola, and you do the Castel in Villa down in Castelnuovo Berodenga, and you understand the difference in the texture of the tannins and the density, and you see the soil and you feel the heat, and it's so different north to south, east to west, and it quickly became, I have been a Nebbiolo lover for years. And that Chianti Classico trip, I think, solidified in my mind that I think I prefer Sangiovese